Thank you for the introduction. Is this loud enough for everybody? Yeah? Great. All right. So today, over the next 10 minutes, you'll be helping me figure out my life. And in that, I hope that you can come to some conclusions about some of the internal debates that you're having with yourself right now. So, if you're going to help me, you probably have to know a little bit about me first. I was born and raised in Toronto, specifically North York, and like many of you, I did it all in high school. Student councils, sports teams, junior achievement, Free the Children, and more, to set myself up to get into my first choice school, Queen's. I came to Queen's. Is Brooke there? Great. Came to Queen's, joined in light, joined ComSoc, drank a little bit too much in res, made some gelato, went to a ton of different conferences, had an internship, joined Queen's Social Investment Initiative, left ComSoc, and so much more. Had a second internship, went on exchange, joined intramurals, went to a ton more events, all setting myself up to be here at Student Talks today. So today, I'm going to be talking about venturing into the unknown, about taking that leap or that jump. But I'm also going to talk a little bit about how to prepare yourself for the dive or the fall, or at least make sure that we don't completely crash and burn. So first, I'm going to talk a little bit about how we can become prepared to take that leap. What kind of training do we have to do? Don't worry, I'm not going to make you do any marathon training or even workout at all. How many of you have heard of the story of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Great, most of you here. So Charlie, he's a young boy with a lot of big hopes and dreams. He hopes that one day he'll be able to see Willy Wonka's magic chocolate factory. And so one day, Charlie gets one of 5 magic golden tickets, and he's able to go to this factory. Eventually, after a bunch of dancing little orange people, Charlie eventually wins the competition and wins the entire chocolate factory. This golden ticket is the key to preparing yourself to take this leap. And luckily, I have one. But don't worry, each and every one of you, you have one too. Being a student is like having a golden ticket. It gives you the perfect opportunity to prepare yourself to take that leap, whatever that leap may be. For me, a big aspect of taking that leap was building my network. And so, in building that network, that was creating a safety net that was there for me if I were to fall. Being a student, there's many different ways for you to build that network and to take advantage of that golden ticket. First is through all the different opportunities when you're reaching out for potential mentors for advice. So as a student, honestly, people take a lot of pity on us. And so if you're reaching out to them and asking them for advice or a coffee chat, most of the time they will say yes. There's also a lot of different opportunities with clubs and different organizations. For me personally, Enlight was a huge part of building out my network. For context, Enlight is a national student-run nonprofit, and we focus on helping student entrepreneurs. And so that gave me the perfect opportunity and excuse to reach out to a ton of different people in a field that I was very interested in. So with Enlight, I was able to build out a network of all of the different founders, mentors, investors, and student entrepreneurs in Ontario. It gave me the great excuse to reach out to hundreds of people and build up that network. Lastly, as a student, there's tons of events available to us, like this one, and honestly, most of them are pretty affordable. These events don't even have to be conferences or events targeted towards students at all. For example, last week, I went to the Mars Social Finance Forum. That forum is the event of the year for social finance. All of the different CEOs and executives come out and are there from the big impact investing firms. Normally, that event wouldn't have been very accessible to me, but because I reached out to the organizer and asked to provide any help, she gave me a free ticket. And so normally that event would have actually cost me $900. And so using that golden ticket is the perfect opportunity and excuse to set yourself up to take your leap, whatever that may be. So now we're walking and we're preparing ourselves to take that leap. We're looking down, but we pause. How do we know that we're ready? For me, personally, I was on the TTC coming home from work one day in the summer from my internship. And I was at a job where I really enjoyed the work that I was doing, and I got along really well with my coworkers. But as I was listening to a podcast on my way home from work, it hit me. I was ready. Now, something that the host of the podcast had said to me hit me a little bit too close to home. He said that as soon as you're spending too much time on your side hustle as opposed to your regular job, you're ready. Specifically, he said that if you're rolling up to work and you're at your desk and on one side you have your personal laptop and on the other side you have your work laptop and you're trying to multitask and juggle it all, then it's time. This hit really hard for me because over the past 3 weeks I was doing exactly that. And specifically that day, I had my personal laptop with me, and I was having to pull it out at work when I had the opportunity to work on different projects and send emails. And so for me, I quickly realized that while I really enjoyed working here, I was going to grow out of it very quickly. Knowing that I was ready, I turned down those full-time offers over the next few months at that workplace and others, and I decided that I was going to carve my own path. Now, taking this path can look very different for everyone. It may be you choose a job in a stream that's not typical to your faculty. It may mean that you choose something that you're really passionate about as opposed to going with something that you're not as interested in. For some people, this doesn't make sense. But for some other people, they'll also choose to take leaps in some areas of their life, but not others. And so, when finding that you're ready for the leap, we come up to that ledge again. You're there, you're prepared, and you know that you're ready. But we still pause. What does that leap mean to me? And what does it mean to you, or to you, or to you? You can be the spark, or you can be the fuel. Now, taking the leap can mean a lot of different things to different people, as I said. Being a spark or being the fuel. What does this mean? For me, I was the fuel at Enlight. I joined the founding team at the beginning of my first year, just as the co-founders were beginning to craft and define the vision. Now, I'm leading a national team of over 20 people. We're coming up with a lot of new initiatives for the year, and I've learned more than I could have ever imagined. I'm driven, I'm entrepreneurial, but I wouldn't have changed this decision for anything. So many people today say that they want to be the spark, the founder, the initial leader, but you don't have to be. You can be the fuel. How many of you know of somebody in your life that has once said, I want to be an entrepreneur. One day, I want to start my own company. If you look around, that's a lot of companies. That's a lot of founders. You can be the spark, or you can be the fuel. And so what I did is I had that golden ticket, and boy, did I use it. I used it, and I set myself up with a safety net, a network that would be there for me if I were to fall. Having that network, I knew that I was ready. I turned down those full-time offers, and I choose to take the path less traveled. Am I the spark, or am I the fuel? Well, I'm not too sure. I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing 6 months from now when I graduate, but I'm not scared. In fact, I'm excited because by opening myself up to these different opportunities, I know that my fuel, it's not running out anytime soon. And so because I took advantage of this golden ticket, I couldn't be more excited for whatever chocolate factory lies there waiting for me. Thank you.